What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get into today's video, the road to 200 subs has now officially come to a close and we are now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, we might get to 500 subs by the end of the year. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull my second ever Collector's Rare. Because it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a Collector's Rare, because I also pulled this, if I can take it out of the penny sleeve. I also pulled this, a Collector's Rare Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely beautiful, and judging by the centering, it actually looks amazing. Absolutely looks incredible. There's like nothing wrong with it whatsoever, and I'm planning to get this graded at some point. I don't really know exactly when, but I will be getting it graded. So if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this: what would be a good question of the day? I think I've got it. I think I've got the perfect question of the day. I'm pretty sure that I've asked this question before, but the question of the day is this: what cards do you guys want to see get released in the new rarity collection that will be coming out this year? Because I'm going to be talking about it in this week's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, so get ready for that. That one is going to be a hell of an episode. Get ready for that. It's going to be nuts. So let me know down in the comments below. I'll probably ask it again on Friday, but get ready for that. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the brand new Silenforce Archetype that will be released in the brand new upcoming core set, Phantom Nightmare. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is actually kind of interesting because this is actually a retrain archetype of three of the most iconic ritual monsters that we had seen out there, including which includes Skull Guardian, which one of them is Skull Guardian, the other one is Saphira, and there was one other one as well. I don't remember it, but but basically they're retrained versions of those older cards, which honestly I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that old school cards that have been reprinted in like Structure X and all the other bullshit are getting retrained. Cards like Trihorn Dragon, cards like Darkblade, which were in that last what was it, the Memento archetype that I talked about? So hopefully you guys are ready for this video, and without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So there are 7 cards. There are 7 cards to talk about in this video, and the first one is Novox, the Silenforcer Disciple, which is a 1-star Light Fairy with, get this guys, with 50 attack and 50 defense. Exactly what I'm talking about. Retrains of old school of cards from the past. Excuse me. Yep, pretty much a retrain of the past. And the first and third effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can place one Silenforce continuous spell or trap from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. It's sort of like spell and trap Rhoda. That's probably the best way to put it, I guess in my opinion. Second effect reads, if you would ritual summon exactly one light warrior or dragon ritual with a card effect that requires use of monsters, you can use this card as the entire requirement. This is basically a 1-card ritual summon. You only need 1 monster, and it's this card. Not much else to say about that. Third effect reads, if a light warrior and or dragon ritual monster is special summoned to your field while this card is in your grave, you can special summon this card. It basically acts as its own monster reborn, and all three of these effects can be used in sequence, which is actually kind of crazy. Honestly, I think this archetype might just be the deck to help change what ritual summoning is all about, because there have been so many different ritual-based decks that we've had over the years. Cyber Angels, Drytron, Heralds, and whatnot, but nothing compares to this. This is probably going to be one of the best ritual-based decks that we've had in this entire in the entire game. And with Kashtira being completely nerfed, with Dragon Links being nerfed, with Chaos Space and Bestial Magnum Hut being limited to 1, this might just be the new meta. This could be the new tier 0 deck, which is possible, but it all depends on how it gets built. And not only that, not only that, but think about this. Manju of the 10,000 Hands will be meta once again. What's that other ritual one? What, Preparation of Rites or Pre-Preparation of Rites? Come on. Advanced, and even also advanced ritual art will potentially make its way back into the meta, which, woo, Woohoo! Woohoo! Players beware! Silenforce has come to scare. Next up, we have Saphira, the Wise Silenforcer Queen, which is a 6-star light dragon with 2,500 attack, 2,400 defense. Both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, you can discard this card, send one ritual spell from your deck to the grave, then you can add one light warrior or dragon ritual monster from your deck or grave to your hand. So this is basically another version of like Manju, but you have to discard. But you have to send this card from your hand to your graveyard and send a ritual spell from your deck to your graveyard as well. So it basically comes as a 1-for-2, which is kind of bad. But at the same time, if you have advanced ritual art in your hand, it really doesn't make much of a damn it really doesn't make much of a damn, which is kind of okay. Second effect reads, you can banish this card from your grave, ritual summon a light warrior or dragon ritual from your hand by tributing monsters from your field or hand whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. So this is basically again, case in point, this is like another version of advanced ritual art where you can summon pretty much anything, but it has to have the same level or exceed the level of whatever monster you're summoning. Funny enough, I think there might be some rituals that could work with this deck. Give me a second. I want to see what ritual monsters could make its way into the meta. Give me 1 second, guys. I think, if I'm right on this, let's see. Let's go deck. Get rid of that. I'll pick a random one. I'll pick my Blackwing deck, which I need to update. Go filters. Monster. Ritual. And what does it say? Light. Okay, so light. Attribute. And now we go to all. And let's see what we have. Let's see. Let's see here. Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon would be a funny one. Saravis, the Ancient and Ascended, that's another one that they can summon. The original Skull Guardian. The new Skull Guardian ritual monster, Saphira, Queen of Dragons, as well. I would say Paladin of White Dragon, but I think you need to have exactly White Dragon ritual, but you could still try and use it. Paladin of Photon Dragon is another hilarious one. Ku Chulain the Awakened as well. So those are some really hilarious cards they can use to summon, that they can use to ritual summon, which are kind of hilarious. But yeah, basically, yeah, again, I mean, Saphira is basically a 1-card ritual spell. Not much else to say about that. Next up we have Saravis, the Sagely Silenforcer Dragon, which is a 7-star light dragon, 2,600 attack, 2,800 defense. The first and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, you can special summon this card from your hand by shuffling 2 spells from your hand or grave into the deck, including at least 1 ritual spell. not bad. I mean, you are recycling cards from your graveyard back into your deck, which is pretty cool. But you can also unbrick your hand as well by sending cards from your hand back into your deck, which is not too shabby, not bad at all. Not too bad at all. Second effect reads, when your opponent activates a card or effect as a quick effect, you can return this card to the hand, special summon a light, warrior, or dragon ritual from your hand or deck, but shuffle it into the deck during the end phase of the next turn. So what I find so interesting about this is that anytime you have anytime you have a monster that has a when effect, you know damn well that it gives your opponent a chance to respond. So if they have any way to respond to this effect and they negate it, you're pretty much just screwed. You're pretty much just fucked from there. So there's really not much else to say about it. It is a sort of like a Cyber Dragon effect, but still it's not too bad. Next up, we have Skull Guardian, the Silenforce Protector, which is a 7-star light warrior ritual with 2050 attack, 2500 defense, and it says you can ritual summon this card with Silenforce Prayer. Can only use the first and third effects once per turn. Which the first effect reads, if this card is ritual summoned, you can add one Silenforce monster or one warrior or dragon ritual from your deck to your hand. Second effect says that it gains 2050 attack while Novox, the Silenforcer disciple, is on your field or in your graveyard. So this card basically doubles its attack. So it's basically what, 4100? Yeah. So its attack can go up to 4100, which that's pretty nasty. A 4100 beat stick while you have Novox on board or in your graveyard, that's pretty nasty. That's pretty fucking nasty. Third effect reads, when your opponent activates a card or effect and you control Novox, the Silenforce's disciple, as a quick effect, negate the activation and destroy that card. It's basically Solemn Judgment on steroids. It's basically Rhoda. It's Rhoda, Megamorph, Solemn Judgment, all rolled into one single card. That's pretty nasty. Three of probably one of the most iconic and probably the most powerful cards of like 2005 is in one card. Enough said. Not much else to say about that. How many cards is left? We have 1. We have 2. We have 3. We have 3 cards left to talk about, people, so let's continue with Silenforce Prayer, which is the ritual spell, and the second effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads, ritual summon one light ritual monster from your hand by attributing light monsters from your hand from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. So again, cards like Saravis, Paladin of White Dragon, Paladin of Photon Dragon, Skull, the original Skull Guardian. These cards can actually be used in this deck. They can be used in this deck, and if you do summon Paladin of Photon and White Dragon, you can just overlay them into a fucking Baguska, and that's pretty much it. That's how nasty this deck can really be. I'm gonna have to try this out. We'll try this deck out one of these days, because I don't know if you can really use Photon or White Dragon. I don't know if you can truly, but couldn't hurt to try. Second effect reads, reads, if a face-up light ritual monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your grave, special summon 1 Saravis the Ancient and Ascended, Saphira Queen of Dragons, or Skull Guardian, the Silent Enforcer Protector from your hand or deck, ignoring and summoning conditions. So this is basically a way to summon three of probably one of the biggest ritual monsters you could think of in the game to your board. Literally just any one of these 3 and you're good to go. So Saphira, Saravis are obviously playable in this deck, but cards like Paladin of Photon Dragon and Paladin of White Dragon, it is possible to play them, but if you do, you would have to literally overlay them into a fucking Baguska or into like a or into a card like, say, Gaga Cowboy in defense, detach, deal 800 per game, or again, as I said, you use them for a Baguska, which is very possible. Next up, we have Silenforce Barrier, which is a continuous spell, and the second effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads, while you control Novox the Silenforcer Disciple, or a light ritual monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target non-ritual monsters for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target light monster control with card effects. So this basically protects all of your light monsters and your non-ritual monsters from being targeted for attacks and card effects. That's actually pretty good. Not bad, but it's pretty good. Second effect says, during your main phase, you can add 1 Silenforce card or 1 Skull Guardian ritual monster from your deck to your hand, except this card. It's basically another version of like Rhoda. It's like a continuous Rhoda, which that's pretty good. Pretty good. Last, and now for the final card in today's video, we have Silenforce Authority, which is a continuous trap, and the effect is a once per turn, which reads, during the main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Shuffle 1 Light Warrior or Dragon Ritual monster or 1 ritual spell from your hand or grave into the deck, and if you do, take 1 Silenforce monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Light Warrior and Dragon Ritual monsters to control, destroy them, and destroy this card. So basically you can either special summon, either special summon Novox, or you could just break your opponent's board and destroy this card. So you would literally need 3 copies of this, which is a floodgate. This is probably one of the best floodgates that this deck could potentially have. What other floodgates could you use? Like maybe summon limit? No. Summon limit goes against it would go against this deck. What would be? I don't know. I don't know what would be good with what floodgates would be good with this deck. I know that cards like Zhang Zhang Hu would be a pretty good floodgate, because it basically stops your opponent from using 2 of their set back row. That's all it does, which is pretty good in my personal opinion. But honestly, this archetype it does have the makings to be a potential like tier 1 deck, but only time will tell. But honestly, I think this is gonna be a really good deck. If we get more support for this archetype in the future, it's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. No pun intended. But guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.